First ticket is nothing is printing. None of my documents are printing. As always, assign the ticket to yourself first before you do any work, so you get credit for it. Nothing is printing. We've talked about many tickets already that were related to printing. Considering this is a number 10 video, chances are the printing is one of the most common issues has come up. And this is from Justin Grenfell. Thank you very much, Justin. I appreciate you submitting this. And it says here, nothing is printing. None of my documents are printing. Unfortunately, Justin, when you don't provide enough information, I can't really talk about much of it because I don't know exactly what's going on, because the description itself is just says none of my documents are printing. So there could be many issues. It could be that your printer is not plugged in, whether it's your personal printer, it's not plugged in, simply not plugged in, whether it's over the USB, different type of connections, serial, firewire, or whatever it is, Bluetooth, or it's not powered on, or you don't have a driver installed, or printing is disabled locally. This could be the same thing could be true for the network printer if you have a network printer attached. I probably should put up printers here just to kind of give a visual idea. If you don't see your printer listed under printers and scanners, so you go to search and type in printers or scanners on your computer. And if you don't see it listed here, then it's not installed, right? So it's not installed, whether it's not, and it could show up as not installed simply by not being plugged in, right? If you plugged it in and you know it's powered on, then go to the device manager. The device manager, as an administrator, what you saw is that, I just opened it up as a regular user. And if you go to imaging devices, I believe, yeah, it's going to be under imaging devices, I'm pretty sure. I don't have a printer connected right now. Right now, under imaging devices, what shows up is that webcam. Remember, we talked about this webcam and we did some troubleshooting on one of my previous videos. But it would show up as here, and if it shows up where there's like an exclamation mark to it or something like that, what you want to do is right click it, and then right now I have it open as just a regular user, but you will have more options here, and then select update driver or go to properties driver and then update driver. Or you can also do one of these things where you right click it and delete it. And then once you delete it, you can select scan for hardware changes. Here, let's do that. What was the, so if your computer, if you want to pull up device manager while user is logged in, you want to pull it up as administrator, you have to type in this command. You can type in, I believe it's called dev mgmt, and that is .msc. Yeah. So once you see it come up, you can just right click it, or here, let's just do this. I have it really disabled here. It will show up a regular icon for device manager, but under the command right here, you'll see that device mgmt comes up .msc. So this is the actual thing that opens up. So it's called device manager, but the actual executable is dev mgmt.msc. And then you can right click it. Oops. Okay. All right, dev mgmt.msc, and then you can run it as administrator. You see how it comes up right here? It's in System32. You can browse through it. See Windows System32. That's where all of your Windows executables are in there. Including like Control Panel, all these things that are part of the function of Windows. So you can just select Run as administrator. And now I can type in my administrator password, and now you have it open as a now. So let's look at the example. I'm going to leave this expanded here because there is a next ticket that I saw there about something about driver error, so for a hard drive. So we'll leave that there like that expanded as a reminder. So here's imaging devices. So if I right click now you can see that update driver, disable driver, uninstall device comes up. So here I would do uninstall device. Don't do disable because it will show up just like this drive here. It would just disable it. Or you could try it, disable, and just disables it, and that's it. But what we want to do is remove it. So if there's like an exclamation mark, which usually dictates that it's not installed properly or wrong driver, then we would uninstall it. You can do update driver and that might fix it, but what I like to do is remove it completely. So, and then I'm going to, well, you can say delete the driver software for this device as well. So let's do that. Let's see what happens. What this should do is going to remove any drivers that are locally available for this type of product. And for this case, that was just a webcam. But if we go up here and select scan for hardware changes, it's going to look for whatever is plugged in that's not installed. And then it's going to attempt to install it with the driver that it has, or it's going to go through and download the correct driver and then install it. Here right now, here's that exclamation mark that I told you about that might happen. And it looks like it found the driver. Whether install it properly, we don't know yet. Sometimes it takes a few seconds. It doesn't look like it. So in this case, we're going to go to driver here and right click. You see how it takes a little bit. You see it actually did it. I was about to do this, update driver, but it eventually went ahead and by itself, Windows by itself, went ahead and downloaded the correct driver, although you saw me remove it. So that's what was happening right there. Or it just took a little bit to install. So either way, this could fix your problem. Okay, so I hope you watch this video because I don't know exactly what's going on. And this ticket has been open for a while now. Normally you don't want to close any tickets when you're working help desk until you get a response. But since I've never talked to Justin before, I would have to do introduction like you guys see me do this before. Hello, this is Irvin, and of course use your own name. I mean, unless your name is Irvin. This is Irvin with PC support. For some reason, I only PC support. I leave that C lower cap for some reason, just a habit. This is Irvin with PC support, and I'm going to say I have your ticket about printer not working. May I take control of your computer to have a look? So this is what I would do and take control of their computer. Of course, you guys probably watched my videos before. The way you would take control of their computer is by asking their host name, which is their computer name, also known as workstation name, or the IP address of their computer. And that information is available for them if they work for a company, and it will be basically like an icon with the information on it. On the desktop, there will be some kind of information, or there just might even be a sticker on their computer with a host name, with a computer name. And then you would take control with something like Dameware, which is a remote control tool. I would just type it in here, and I would have full control of their computer as if I'm sitting in front of it. You can send them a link that would invite them to a session in which you can take control of their computer. You can start a meeting, Zoom meeting, a WebEx meeting, or whatever, and then take control of their computer, and then I'll look at it. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to also reply, and I'm going to assume that this is what we've done already, what I've showed you. And you want to wait. You always want to wait for a customer to reply. In this case, we're going to pretend, because I have a lot of tickets, guys. I'm going to have to close some of these tickets. But normally you want to resolve issue before you close any tickets. I'm going to pretend like I've actually resolved it. Because I was going to select reply to customer, but in this case, I simply have to keep going. In a help desk environment, Do not close tickets until you have resolved them. Do not forward them until you've tried all you can. Like if you have to forward it to help test tier 2 or tier 3, don't do it until you tried everything that you can to fix it to the best of your knowledge. Okay? And in this case, I'm going to pretend like I fixed it just by doing what I showed you. Because if it's a regular printer, there really isn't a whole lot we can do. And I'm assuming here none of my documents are printing. Oh, I probably should mention this. So he might have documents stuck in a print queue. And for this, you want to open up services. So services.msc, just like we did with Device Manager. Type in services.msc, services.msc, and look for print spooler. And it says here it's running. Make sure it's running, right? Like this. If it's not running, make sure you start it or restart it. Okay, and or if it's running and then he can't print, that means that the print jobs could be stuck in the queue. It's stuck in the queue and it's just not working. So you might want to stop and then restart again. Okay. So that's just the one last thing. And I'm going to just say here, resolve issue. I like to talk to customers on the phone personally, but you can do it whatever you want, IM or whatever else you have available, by installing printer driver. The reason I didn't talk about print spooler because I had a different ticket in a previous video, guys. If you haven't watched the previous videos, one of them has a printer. It's labeled. It's all clearly labeled. My videos in this whole series. And you might want to check that one out because I go more into detail of what's going on with the print spooler and the network printer install and stuff like that. But in this case, it wasn't network printer necessarily install. This is, this is what we talked about in this situation. Of course, I can't get a hold of Justin. Justin, I hope you watched this video.